Good morning. So I guess I have time. So I really like that I've chosen to use this channel to unpack stuff. It's almost like my therapy session. Excuse me. I think I've told you guys before, but I'm a person who's had a lot of therapy with an actual therapist. And I feel like I, for the first time, understand what cognitive behavioral therapy is and the reason why it's useful. It's because you sometimes you have a certain feeling or experience, and the people around you can't relate to it, and it kind of is illogical because they lack the context of what's going on and why you're feeling that way. It seems absurd, it seems crazy, right? But if you have CBT, then you get to explain this sort of irrational. It's not irrational to you, right? Obviously, you are experiencing it. It comes from somewhere. Oh, a friend did something. You had a bad experience at a job. Your parents, there's some reason that you're feeling the way that you feel, and that you are having a particular experience. There's a reason that that's happening, but everyone doesn't understand that reason. But it's not meant for everyone to understand it. There's no rule that says oh yeah, all the other people in the world have to empathize or understand what you're going through. They're not supposed to. They're literal different people, right? That's one of the interesting things I think about institutions, that maybe some people forget to how do you say, they forget to realize. In an institution, you have all these rules, you have boundaries, expectations, you have guidance, mentors, curriculum, and things like that are helpful, because no matter what your situation is with your parents, at home, whatever, it doesn't matter, because in that space, everyone is kind of under an expectation that they're all going to kind of move in a similar way. Now, this is one of the interesting parts about being a black female entering particular institutions, Ivy institutions, or institutions that are corporate institutions, because you start to learn how and why people made certain decisions, why they did things the way they did them. And they are happy to explain it to you, because they want you to do well too, because they feel like you are them. Now, another part of that is interesting, at least that I think, a lot of us we don't have the same goals. So we might share space in a particular institution, but our goals aren't the same. What I mean by that is if I have a goal toward extreme capitalism that is beneficial to Olivia, that means that if you have a goal that's extreme capitalism for you, we aren't on the same team, right? There's only so many dollars, and if I want the dollars, then you can't have the ones that I want. We're fighting for them. We're in competition. Now, kind of a part of that competition is this idea of representation. So if we have represented, let's just say the black female experience as being this one that's marginal, that's derogatory, that's dirty, that's unpure, that's non-chaste, all these things that are bad virtually, well, then most people won't want to be affiliated with that, because they don't want those character flaws. They don't agree with those values. And if it goes the other way, where we have as a society said that white women are this, they are all these things, they are chaste, they are pure, they are kind, they are feminine, they are blah 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 blah, right? So we put all these labels on entire groups. But obviously there's you and me who have thoughts and feelings and analysis, and we can look outside and be oh my god, to make this broad generalization to a whole group doesn't even make any sense. Only stupid people do that. That's true. But it's also true that most of the people that you're looking at every day and that you're talking to are stupid, the comments that I just shared. That's a real person who felt that way. Like, how are you going to tell somebody else that their feelings and experiences are like, what did he say? Like, embarrassing. How I feel is embarrassing. Oh, I'm so sorry that I embarrassed you, sir, from the internet. Like, fuck what he thinks. Like, that's crazy. It's almost like, that's what I mean. Like, and I was explaining this actually to someone yesterday, and it just made me so upset. There's this expectation that even though I've literally explained to you guys multiple times the way that I feel about my grandmother, how I didn't like her, we weren't that close. Now that she dies, I'm supposed to start crying and doing what? That doesn't make me sad. You know what would make me sad? If I start losing money. We don't all feel sadness in the same way. I don't know. That's why I really, and I continue to say this, I appreciate like the Olivia Rodrigo album. It's the only album that's like, I mean, we had others before, but this one just did it way better. Where it's like unpacking jealousy, fear, anger over, it's kind of like things that are menial, like they're not that important, but to her they are. And like, I don't know, I feel the same way because there have been in my life some relationships that I've had where I also have those like very strong feelings, and those strong feelings are real. But here's another thing I think is kind of funny, like, and this is why I've had to talk about poverty on this channel, and mostly like urban poverty, but also like poverty in the developing world. Mostly because like obviously like Ethiopia is still a developing country, and so like yes, a lot of people there are still dealing with starvation. That's a real thing. And so because most people are stupid, they think that, oh, like even though I'm sitting here in a city with a fucking cigarette, they'll be like, oh, she's suffering from destitution and poverty. Well, I had 2 waffles this morning, so I think I'm fine. I had my breakfast, like I'm okay. I don't need to share with you that like I had the waffle, but just know that I did. If I wanted a waffle, you would see me coming on here complaining to my mother like I have in the past, right? But like you are not my parent. It is not your responsibility to provide me with my waffle. Like you, I don't know, hopefully you're just here to like, if you are interested in the story and my perspective, I have come here to share it with you. But you don't have to like, how do you say, like you don't have to, like you don't have to watch, you know, if you have other better things to do with your hours and your days, please be my guest and go do that. I just know that there was a point in time where I personally needed like a black woman to get on and like rationalize the craziness all around. And there just wasn't one, and that felt so shitty to me. I was like, why isn't there even one? There has to be one. So I'm just giving back. I found Seren, and it took me a very long time to find her. So I hope that I am Seren for someone else. Maybe someone who looks like me, someone from my community. I also guess I really am starting to, how do I say, like, embody the fact that so many women lack the ability to think. Even though they have, like, evidence, videos, books, other people, they can't really have, like, critical conversations about things because they're stupid. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. I'm just being honest. Like, stupidity is almost like dirty water or something. It just keeps like flowing through society, and nobody gets any smarter, and the days go on, and we all have to watch it, and it's very hard to watch, and it's very frustrating because it's like the stupid people keep going in like a circle. It's like they just keep doing shit, and you're like, why are you doing it? I mean, be serious. Like, people are celebrating the Ashanti Nelly story. Like, one black woman is in a relationship with this dude, and now we're all supposed to cheer after 20 years? come on with the fucking crumbs. Like, that's pathetic. That's actually pathetic. That's basically Ashanti's. And then, like, just think about this. I think some people's confidence is just coming from the wrong places. It's almost like if I was, like, super thirsty for water, even though I can get free water at McDonald's, someone had given me a bottle of water. Okay, that's very nice, but when you put this into perspective, like, I could have just walked into McDonald's and got free water. So thank you to the person who gave me the water, but it was free. Like, you probably should just explain to me, like, hey, thirsty, stupid person, you should go to McDonald's and get a glass of water. Like, that would have solved the problem. So it's like, when you think about it, like, we're not even to be funny. I don't mean to, like, you know, pry into this woman's life, but think about this for a second. So Ashanti gone on the Queen's remix, right? And she's all talking about how she, like, dodged what's his face, and oh, she's so confident, and, you know, she's got all these butlers, she's got fish and money, all these things, right? But, like, she couldn't find, of all the there's like 8 billion people on the planet, she couldn't, like, there was no one else, like, this whole, like, it's a long time. 20 years is, like, a very long time. Like, what, everyone has hobbies, everyone can do what they want. I'm just saying, like, I do believe sometimes that they're soulmates and stuff, but also there's, like, pragmatism. But the other thing is, like, to each his own, right? I just think that we shouldn't, like, celebrate, like, that. I don't think that's celebratory. Especially, like, to me, like, if she's choosing to be a celebrity. Like, if you're choosing to be in the public eye like she is, then, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Blue Ivy performed at Beyonce's concert on stage, and she was, like, doing the choreography. So she was, like, you know, in the front row of the dancers. And it was great. It was really great. Like, I was really happy to see that happen. Oh God, I just feel like she deserves, mostly because she showed up. Like, her showing up was enough. It is enough. Like, she doesn't need to do anything in life except for show up, and it's enough. And it showed on her face, because she was, like, barely trying, but she got all the moves. So cheers to Blue Ivy starting her choreography career at 9. I'm very proud. I will be supporting in all the ways that I can. If she puts out a dance app, a class or something, I will be signing up and taking it. I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I think maybe we just need so many more examples of how to show up and be supportive. Even though this is shit that you learn in kindergarten, so I don't understand how it's this innovative that I have to get on here and say it. It's almost like I have to get on and say, like, water is wet.